Hello everyone, this is William with CommanderCast.com, here doing the Fallen Empires edition of the Alpha Build with our Commander, Avacyn, Guardian Angel. So this past weekend we did our pre-release, got some fun stuff, even got the brand new Avacyn, which I am looking very forward to playing with. I actually lucked out and got, Sigarda, Heron's Grace, a foil Arlen Cord, so just some real nice goodies here. But we're not here to talk about pre-releases, although that may be what I fill dead time with today. We're here to talk about the Fallen Empires, and there were some slim pickings, but we did find some cool stuff to try out today. We only have 5 cards to try, and that's just out of looking at the whole review set, at least on the side of white for Avacyn. Looking there and thinking about how only real 6 cards are worth trying. The other one we didn't add it in the combat medic because I wasn't feeling it. It was a 0/2. You can pay 2 mana to prevent a damage to a creature or player, kind of like Avacyn. But Avacyn does it just so much better with saying a color boom. Granted, we've been fighting a lot of Eldrazi decks lately, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like something that was worth cutting for whatever we have right now. But what did make it in, so let's go ahead and start this off. So first off, we got Avacyn Scout. And after looking at some of the time spiral connections, this is in fact still in Dominaria. Avacyn Scout, 1 mana, 1/1, 1 mana, tap, target creature gets first strike end of turn. Really messes up with the combat math. Kind of like the Adavant Archer, where, peening for the 1 damage is actually kind of relevant sometimes. And with tokens and small stuff like that, you can actually just start sniping them off. The Avacyn Scout makes a lot of our creatures a lot better just by virtue of having that first strike. So they're not going to be able to trade as easily. With Avacyn, that means that she's going to be a Flying Vigilance with the potential threat of activation here, first strike. And you're not running combat tricks in EDH. Let's be real here. You need a kind of screwy build like Anthosa or something like, or anything, or Shu Yun. Those kinds of cards that kind of profit from having some sort of combat trick played. But even then, you're not really playing traditional, limited style giant growth effect combat tricks. So more or less, it will just be a straight, okay, is my guy bigger or potentially going to even? Let's go ahead, swing, keep up the activation, but we can probably get in some free damage. Or they may throw something that they care less about. For you have the potential for double strike, or not double strike, double blocking shenanigans. But from what we've seen so far, flyers are relevant, but they aren't, everywhere. Like usually they'll have 1 big flyer that will start pounding face, which is one of the reasons why we've cut the Alber's Carpet, which for 5 mana was the pay 5 tap. We take no damage from anything that doesn't fly. So we get on our Magic Carpet and we go off flying. Which for Avacyn, it wasn't really working out. That was a lot of mana to hold up and invest. 10 mana total. Which granted, Avacyn demands a lot of mana, but she's also a creature, so she's working on offense. The Carpet, it was literally just, if you want to do something else that turn, you basically give up your ability to fly away. Especially in a deck like this, where we're not developing a lot of mana fast. So, going on, next one we've got Pharaoh's Mantle, which is 2 and a white enchantment or enchant creature. Whenever the enchant creature attacks and isn't blocked, its controller may have it deal damage equal to its power +2 to another target creature. But if we do that, the attacking creature assigns no combat damage this turn. So, theoretically, let's say for some reason we put on Avacyn because, we've decided that we just don't want to get there with commander damage. We can go ahead and swing with Avacyn. If Avacyn is not blocked, she'll deal 7 damage, just with her base power and toughness, to any creature on the board, and that's basically a free kill. So Pharaoh's Mantle is going to be very interesting to see. It's tied to the quality of our creatures, which right now we've got stuff like Petrosphinx, Serra Angel, Tetravis, Personal Incarnation, even the Ivory Guardians. So it could potentially snipe a lot of things, and we've been seeing some people get open. It's this weird dichotomy in multiplayer where it's just, it seems like everyone's open because it's early or late game, or there's a Wrath Chest now, or nobody's open because everyone started clogging their field with small guys. The other side being that if they do block, they just throw something out. We have the potential to either trade, to straight kill off because we had the Avacyn Scout, or just completely run something over and still get some creature presence off the board. And to that end, we're actually going to take off the wall spears, which was the 3-cost artifact 2/3 with first strike wall. It's not a creature that's going to be attacked. We have so few creatures that we can't really afford to just sit behind walls and play defense. The obvious exception being the Wall of Swords, which has a big enough body and also flies that it's managed to just kind of stay in there for now. Interesting that the Wall of Swords is still there. Alright then. Next up, we've got Avacyn Phalanx. It's a 2/4 for 5. The important thing is that it has banding. You guys know how much I love banding with Avacyn. Whew, get the band back together! So, Avacyn Phalanx, gives us more options with the banding. We now have, I believe, 3 cards that have banding. We have the Avacyn Phalanx, the Knights of Thorn, and also Banalish Hero. So we should be getting more, let's see. Knights of Thorn came in the dark, right? Yeah. So since we started the alphabet, we now have 3 times the banding, and I like that quite a bit. The other thing about the Avacyn Phalanx is that the 2/4 is actually a decent size. That's a decent size ass. They can go ahead and sit back on defense, and it gives us, that tag team tandem. Because Banalish Hero is, just piddling small. She's not going to really block anything on defense. The Avacyn Phalanx can, though. Like, they're the ones who are going to be able to block the tokens, block the small ones. The sad bots that someone's going to try and, poke at us because they want to either trade or draw the card or something like that. So, Phalanx is a very decent size wall for that early game, even though it comes down on turn 5. Okay, the stats aren't fantastic. Let's be real here. But it is banding. It is 2/4, and that is perfectly relevant. In fact, actually, one of the things about the Banalish Hero is that we can use Avacyn to give a protection color from one color at a time. But the Avacyn Phalanx, because that butt is bigger, can actually survive a few things much more easily than the Banalish Hero. So we don't have to use as much mana on it. Kind of like the Knights of Thorn, in that the Thorn is a 2/2. It has protection from red. And remember, banding says any creatures with banding and up to 1 without. So while we're in offense, the fact that Banalish Hero teams up with the Knight of Thorn and now has the entire Avacyn Phalanx behind them, that's 2, 4, 5. 5 plus whatever creature we want to attack with, usually Avacyn. So we can attack in a band together for like 10. And then Avacyn can go ahead and protect whichever creature we choose to pile the damage on. So again, the banding, very happy to have it. Let's see, so that's 3. What did we take out for the Avacyn Phalanx? Well, we took out the Thunder Spirit, the 2/2 flying first striker for 3. It was not a card that we really got to see a whole lot of, but 2/4 with banding actually out-trumps 2/2 flying first strike. The evasion I thought would have been nice to have with like the Pharaoh's Mantle. You got something that can go around sniping the board for 4, but that's kind of situational at best, unfortunately. So then, let's see. Oh, that's enough. Yeah. So we have Avacyn Town. So this is our first real token producer that we want to play. For 5 white, we got sorcery. Put 4 1/1 white citizen creature tokens onto the battlefield. Very happy to have this. It's kind of in that 4/4 for 6 club that Chetravis and Ivory Gardens a little bit kind of get in. It's not quite the Petra Sphinx or the Sarah Angel in terms of size and power, but those 4 white 1/1 citizen tokens are quite relevant because Hand of Justice. This is probably the best card that we got out of Fallen Empires. Well, best one not named Avacyn Phalanx. Hand of Justice, 6 mana, 2/6, tap himself, tap 3 untapped white creatures you control, destroy target creature. So if they don't deal with our board, we can actually just snipe the biggest thing on the field every turn. Go ahead, play the Hand of Justice. Next turn, play the town, and then just go to town. We're going to the Akashian town. That's a very nice synergy. It makes 4 tokens, so that means we can have the freedom to chump block with one, use the other. We can even tap the one that's blocking to use it. Avacyn, of course, has Vigilance. So does Sarah Angel. So that's going to help out a lot with our untapped creatures. Very nicely done. I like it quite a bit. Could use some new art though. I think it might be on the reserve list. However, and the last thing that we really cut for that was the Northern Paladin. The 2 or 3/3 for 4 mana, pay 2 whites, tap, destroy target black creature. This one's just better because it has no restriction on that. It helps our curve because we're taking out a 4-drop that's kind of dead right around there. The only other cut we made was the Jandor Saddlebags, which wombo combos with the Colossus of Sardia, but it wasn't doing a whole lot. There are some things to, well, actually, I may have to put the Saddlebags back on the watch list because I was actually just thinking, well, it does combo with the Hand of Justice, but then you remember that the Hand of Justice requires you to tap 3 untapped white creatures as well. So it's a little less good, and right now we don't have the creature density. We don't really have the creature density to really pull off a huge wombo combo with the Saddlebags and Hand of Justice. I do think the Saddlebags can, in fact, go to the maybe list, and I'm going to make a note right here to move it to the maybe board. So, did end up let's see, I believe we cut Diamond Eye Valley last week, and someone went and pointed out that we really should be running it, to combo with the Preacher, and I don't disagree. We do have creatures with bigger butts, so you know what? I'm going to be right back. Alrighty then, so after a quick little jump edit, we do include the Diamond Valley out there. I just went and took out the Mistress Factory, the land that can become a 2/2 assembly worker, because that little 2/2 assembly worker just wasn't doing a whole lot for us. It does bring our actual land count down to, let's see, we're running 42 lands. Brings us down to 38, but that's actually still within parameters. We're still running 38 basics. Well, not 38 basics, but 38 lands that do produce mana, including the Strip Mine and the Urzatron, which we are still running because we have seen 1 or 2 games where we have the Tron, and it helps out quite a bit, especially with the scaling cost mana. So, yeah, not a whole lot of additions to the deck right now, but, I said this last week, I'm going to say it this week. Every week, each iteration of the deck helps it feel a little more complete, a little more like an actual deck, and less like it's doing nothing. We've got some pretty decently powerful spells in here with the Felon's Cane, the Swords, the Land Tax, Tormod's Crypt, the super hella expensive Maze that we have right over here. So, enough yap, more tap. Let's go ahead and play some card games.